Hello, my name is Ileana, and today I will be discussing the issue of the environment and how the international community should take the environment into consideration over economic developmental problems for policies in the near future. A little bit about this and what this means. Currently, the international community provides a lot of time and aid in assisting countries to maintain their economy. I'm not here to say that these efforts should stop. Of course, assisting failing states has its benefits. However, to prevent future issues, it is important for many nations to begin to take economic threats very seriously. A looming environmental problem which needs immediate attention is the current global issue of rising sea levels. Jared Ferry, an author for the New Humanitarian, wrote an article in January 2017 about the impact of climate change. He places sea level rise on the same level as other natural disasters, such as drought, flooding, and desertification. Ferry states that between 2008 and 2015, 203 million people around the world were displaced due to climate change related causes. This number is only estimated to increase as disasters get worse. For the course of this discussion, we will be speaking about people who are permanently displaced due to climate change. Sea level rise, which can cause permanent migration for thousands of people. According to the author of The Migrant Destinations in an Era of Environmental Change, written in 2011, migrants are not always received well at their destinations. For the most part, migrants prefer to move short distances or to places where they have a social tie to help them through their transition. In the case we are discussing levels or short distances are not an option. Kiribati is an island nation located in the Pacific Ocean. With levels expected to keep rising, the people of Kiribati will be left with no option but to leave the place they call home. If the island was larger or had a greater variation in altitude, then people might have been able to migrate within the nation itself. However, the island will not be able to withstand the increase in water level as sea levels rise. Kiribati is a prime example of how the international community needs to pay attention to sea level rise. The islanders will need to migrate to other countries, and as many of us know, international migration is a complicated subject. International migration influences market changes in the economy, food sustainability, and other major concerns. If the international community were to address the problem now rather than in the future, they can begin to relocate people sustainably without causing major harm to countries and economy. Kiribati should be seen as a state that is likely to fail in the near future. Identifying countries early means nothing if we do not take action early. According to USAID.gov, in 2017, the US spent $23 billion in economic aid and roughly $14 billion in military aid. This aid should be split between current failed states and those at risk of failure. Kiribati is not the only country to be affected by sea level rise. According to the worldatlas.com, the Netherlands, Japan, Ireland, the UK, Vietnam, the Maldives, and Bangladesh are only a few prime examples of countries that will likely be severely affected if ocean levels rise to predicted levels. It is beneficial to input time, money, and effort into these countries, rather than wait for millions of people to become homeless and in need of basic life essentials. Obviously, migrants will not all be permanent migrants. Some may be temporary migrants, or even migrants who have the intention of finding jobs to assist their families who have been affected by migration. These migrants, no matter which they are, can cause problems in the destinations they find, either within a country itself or outside of that country, because they create tensions in regards to jobs and other resources. As people change location, either willingly or forcefully, we find that receiving communities are not always receptive. In the past, issues such as war, genocide, or segregation occur in these high tension communities. The more the snowball of humanitarian crisis grows, the larger the economic impact it has on a country or on the world. It is in the best interest of a destination country to develop policy in order to mitigate these tensions, which in turn mitigate the overall economic impact this issue may cause. Climate change is affecting people now as well as in the near future, and sea level rise will affect people for possibly decades. It is inevitable that the change in the environment will affect people on a global scale. And in turn, it is inevitable that sea level rise may affect people on a global scale. It is how we prepare for this change that will define how large of a humanitarian crisis or issue sea level rise will cause. And it is up to us to ensure that we prepare for this change and take it head on. Thank you.